sing a happy song together, and we'll all be a happy family.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is just a little summary video of what's been done so far on this project and how it's progressed. So if we look back, the first problem I had was how to take this apart, how to separate these two parts, and this is the electronics chassis. Now on here I've replaced most of the capacitors, the ones that are of any size, certainly any of the paper type ones and the electrolytics. So apart from that, I've also rebuilt the rectifier circuit here, and using silicon diodes instead of selenium, and smoothing capacitors that are associated with the high tension are here. The ones associated with the low tension side, the 25 volt circuit, are tucked away under there. Then also, of course, I had these combinations of 100 ohm resistor and a capacitor, so I rebuilt those with new components. Having done that, also had to sort out this chassis, and this switch fell apart, this little leaf switch. Spent quite a bit of this afternoon sorting out that to make sure it works. Basically, it's normally, there's a pin in the centre of the motor shaft which can drop down in. So obviously it's designed to be normally closed, and when that pin is pulled down, this will open this circuit. I've tested as far as I can, and that seems to be okay, so I think they've got that back together okay. Now on the other side of this, which I will attempt to turn it round, you have the motor speed control section, and whoops, at the bottom of this, along here, there was a motor start capacitor, so it was quite a big thing bolted in there at the bottom. Tested it with my little Chinese tester. That only works at low voltages, of course. That is perfectly spot on, 3 microfarads still after 70 years, but that doesn't test at high voltages. I'm not sure how this is made, but I think it's probably 2 electrolytic capacitors back to back, so that you've got a non-polarized capacitor for the motor start and running, and I think that's how they did them in those days. The can's not connected to anything. So anyway, what I've done is, rather than reuse that, I've replaced it with this black box here, which is again a 3 microfarad motor run capacitor, and it's rated at a higher voltage and closer tolerance than the one I've just shown, and it fitted onto the same bracket. I just had to drill another hole, and it had a little mounting hole there, so I just bolted it on there and soldered the leads onto it, and that should do the job perfectly well. I wasn't sure whether the other one would be okay or not, and I rather decided not to trust it. So that's another thing that's been done today. So the thing is, of course, all this comes in all these separate parts, and it's very difficult to test anything once you've got got it all together. So I mean, this piece here with the heads on and so on mounts on here, and there's a solenoid in here which pulls these when it's running onto the heads. Now it's not going to run perfectly well because these are quite crusty and 70 years old, and there's a flat in one of these where it's been left. So in one direction it's probably not going to run as well as the other. The thing with this is it has solenoids under these which operate a sort of clutch mechanism to keep the tape tension. And again, I've checked them. I mean, there's continuity there, so there's no open circuit there. I haven't tested this thing. But really what I'm saying here is that this has got to be reassembled together. This fits onto here and has to be screwed down there, and then all these plugs, which I've covered up because I applied voltage to it the other day, these little plugs have got to be plugged into this side of it. So then it will be assembled as a block, and the motor speed piece here on the side as well. So all that would go together, and then I can attach the speaker and safely bring up the voltage on it. I mean, obviously it's no good putting it together till I put the valves back in. So we got some other bits over here. Well, these are the pieces that go on the top, the cover that goes underneath, and then in here I've got the 5 valves, and these are the screens that go on 2 of them, and this is the magic eye. You often see them in radios, but that gives you a level indication when you're recording. Yeah, so those got to go back into the chassis. Got to reassemble the chassis. We're getting close to actually being able to try it out, see if it does anything. I rather think it probably won't work, but I'll certainly have a go and see what happens, and then start fault tracing. I'll be surprised if it works really, because it's so complex. But I've replaced any crusty parts, any dodgy parts, anything that I think is questionable. So I am getting to the point of saying, yeah, I'll give it a try after removing all these. There's quite a selection of parts in there. We've got the selenium rectifiers, these crusty old capacitors that really were pretty bad. They're still tested as capacitors, a lot of them, but they're a bit leaky. And so one was cracked in half. And they're also the not in here, but I've got the insides that came out of the resistor capacitor combinations as well. There's all the diagrams and information I was able to find. So again, I may get into translating some of that, and if it starts to work, if we get anywhere, it may be worth checking through that and seeing whether there's any setting up I can do. Otherwise I'd be shooting in the dark, so I will leave it alone unless it doesn't work and I need to adjust things. Got the odd bits box here. I don't want to get in my own shadow, but yeah, we've got the old vintage microphone, which I did actually connect up to an amplifier, and it does actually do something. I don't know if it's as good as it should be, but there we are. There's some leads that came with it, and There's take-up spools there. There was a tape on it which had stopped halfway through, presumably when it failed. Perhaps even back in the 1960s or something. This was the original plug that was on it, and I've put a connector type plug in so that the lead could be, this can be unplugged. This is just an inline connector, so that the lead will fit into the case, and this will act as an adapter to the plug, because that plug won't fit in the case. There's various little bits and pieces here for putting it back together. I'm hoping it will be fairly obvious where they go. There's a plate with 2 speeds on it, 7.5 inches and 3 3/4 inches per second. Control knobs here. So there's all those little fiddly bits to look at, and here we have the case itself, which is not in bad condition. You know, give it a good clean up, it'll be fine. The speaker looks quite nice, and no problems or issues with that as far as I know. So there's potential for other problems, and there could be showstoppers. I mean, if the transformer's no good, then I mean, we are getting voltages through, but if we find that there's issues with the transformer or motor windings, then that would be a real problem. But I just thought this video does give a bit of a summary, a bit of an update, that I've now done the recapping, checked over this, changed the capacitor on there. What I haven't done, I haven't cleaned any contacts. I should probably do this as I reassemble it. But there's loads and loads of switches and contacts on this thing. I just don't know how many there are. There's an awful lot. So I'll be surprised if none of them give an issue. All I can say is I can test things as far as I can. Clean switches and contacts. And really, I won't be able to try it unless I put it together. And then, of course, it's probably going to have to come apart again. So that's the nature of the beast. It's going to be very difficult to fault find it and work on it, because you have to take it apart to get at things, and it's all very compact. Only it wasn't going to work as it was, and at least it's got a chance now. I just hope that's been of some interest. It's just a summary video at the moment, and then hopefully there might be some more exciting bits now when I can put bits together and try them out, and we can follow the progress together. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one, and I'll say goodbye for now.
Sing the happy song together, fill the air with harmony. Sing the happy song together, that's the song to choose. For pushing away the blues, keep the heartstrings throbbing, and the good times coming. It will keep on humming.